This is The Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
And we love movies.
Among so many other things, because there's so much to love about life, James.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the MCU moving into, the vast world of streaming services, endless plethora of enjoyment. So we are moving from WandaVision into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're going to be talking about that today. What else are we talking about, James?
So I'm going on my list of Oscar nomination watching. And so my next movie that I'm reviewing that I just finished watching is The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman. And man, if you're going to watch this movie, bring a box of tissues because you're going to need it. We will go into it, but it is a really beautiful movie. And so we will get into that, as well as our casting calls and some Star Wars news, Star Wars rumors. Are we going to see a Luke Skywalker Disney Plus series? We don't know. We'll find out. Well, thank you so much for watching and tuning in to this week's episode of The Hub on Hollywood. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like. Please smash that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your family, give us a share. You can also listen to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services. We are an iHeartRadio podcast, so you can go to WBZNewsRadio.com, go to our podcast list. We're there. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts, we're there.
Anywhere, just find us. We're waiting for you desperately. Like we're here like this.
Please, we need you. We need your support. I'm kidding. We're not begging. We're too proud to beg.
We're not desperate or anything.
No, not at all. No, we will go over casting calls and some other things that we are watching, as well as the passing of a TV and film icon that we will have to mention that you probably know. I want to go right into it because, and I'll admit, for the first review, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, unlike WandaVision, where I jumped, I dove head first into it, I admittedly haven't started this. I'm not sure if I have the pool, or the pool is there for me to jump into it yet, but you started watching it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can see why you might be a little bit hesitant. I mean, it's a lot to absorb. There is so much background and like comic lore that they're trying to like shove in here. And it takes a while for your brain to make all the connections. There's a lot of real life going on.
Yeah.
For all of this now. But Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we've got Bucky Barnes back, played by Sebastian Stan. We've got Anthony Mackie back as the Falcon, and they are teaming up. They're teaming up in this new show, which is way darker and more violent, James, than I think anything that we've seen before. When WandaVision came out, it was just this happy-go-lucky, fun,
mysterious,
seeming mysterious kind of show in the beginning, just kind of baffling but very entertaining. And this is a little bit more like the standard MCU kind of darkish, and it feels more like the movies. Mm-hmm. It feels more like what we've seen up until this point. So it's it's a little, for me, I think it felt a little harder to get into also. So we're not doing spoilers here. But we're 2 episodes in, and essentially Bucky and Falcon are teaming up. We're seeing them. This is post-blip. This is not long after the blip, so it's a similar timeline to where we were with WandaVision. And they are free agents now. Mm-hmm. Agents, but they're kind of still working hand in hand with the U.S. military to do things that are a little bit under the radar, that are a little bit shadier, that the military itself can't really do. And we're getting to see a little bit more, and this is what I really love, James. I love world building, okay? Mm-hmm. One of the things that I love almost as much as character building is world building, and we are definitely getting that. We are getting a sense for where the world is, even more so than WandaVision, which focused solely in her little imaginative world. Mm-hmm. But now we're seeing the world at large. And it's dark. Everyone is really struggling with how to accommodate all of the billions of people that came back.
Yeah.
And what that's done politically to countries and alliances. Everything is just in total mayhem. And that's why they're pushing for more heroes. They're pushing for heroes. So you've got Anthony Mackie, who is the Falcon, who has Captain America's shield, doesn't feel like he deserves it. Doesn't feel like he needs to be wielding that shield. And it opens up with him kind of giving that up, and he thinks it belongs in a museum. But it doesn't work out that way. It gets passed on to someone else. It gets passed on to a brand new Captain America. And that doesn't play well with Bucky.
Yeah.
Why did you do this? So this is all information that's kind of out there. So that's the premise for what we are going forward here with this show. It's intense, James. It's intense. It's dark. It's psychological. I mean, Bucky Barnes is trying to figure out how to be a normal person after being mind controlled for, almost a century.
And then blips, and then coming back to life, and then having to fight again. Yeah, there's a lot he's gone through.
A lot that he is going through, and I think that he needs Sam as much as Sam needs him, and they were both so close to Captain America. And there's just this profound vacuum. Not only is Steve Rogers gone and old and not taking up the mantle anymore, but Tony Stark is gone. You really feel that vacuum. You really feel that kind of chaos and hopelessness of where they're beginning here. So,
because do we know if there's any particular new leader now that's taking?
There isn't, and that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is the U.S. government's like, well, we need a new leader. And that's why they've brought in a new Captain America that they've recruited, he's a soldier himself, and he's got, but he has no superpowers. He's strong.
Okay.
He's like, he's brave, but he doesn't really have any superpowers, and he's sort of been given...
He's more like a symbol, like what Captain America originally was.
And he's wielding not maybe the superpowers, but the political power of the United States government now. And Bucky and Sam are not for that. They don't really want to work with him, so there's a lot of friction there also. And what's going to happen? So Bucky wants Sam to take the shield back and take that mantle and take his place where Steve gave it to him. So it's really interesting. I don't want to get into spoilers. We're 2 episodes in, but maybe when you get caught up, we'll talk a little bit more about the specifics. But like I said, definitely darker, more realistic. They take a realistic take on how race plays a factor in all of this, and that's kind of very interesting. Like, they go there, James.
Yeah.
They go there, and it's phenomenal. Like, episode 2 in particular, it's pretty phenomenal. And really realistic and well done. And I love the dynamic between these two characters. And I want to see the healing. I want to see them help heal each other a little bit more. And I want Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson, he's dealing with a little bit of an imposter syndrome. Like, he doesn't feel worthy of taking up the mantle of Captain America. And I want him to feel worthy by the end of this. So it's good. It's good. It's very different from WandaVision. But
more in line of the MCU, right?
Yeah, more in line with a typical MCU movie. Big action sequences. Very big and impressive action sequences for a show, for a TV show like this. They are sparing no expense. They're throwing all the monies. At this. It looks great. It is action-packed. And we're getting the character development, and we're getting the world building. So I'm with it. I'm with it. It's a little dark for my taste, but still, I'm totally with it, and I can see how this is all going to connect with the future of the MCU, and it's worth it, James. It's worth it.
All right.
Cleanse your palate a little bit from WandaVision.
Yeah.
Get settled, get in the right mind frame. But the buddy connection, like the interaction between these two characters, it's charming, it's funny, and it makes you feel good. It does make you feel good. So, I'm recommending it to you, James. Please.
Oh, I'll definitely check it out. I've been wanting to check it out. It just hasn't been. I guess I've taken a little break since WandaVision, but I do like the characters, and I know they've had fun before in the previous movies, especially in Civil War. And so yeah, I'm definitely going to get into it. Hopefully, now knowing that I've known it's a slow build, but hearing the action scenes, yeah, I think I'm going to get into those sooner.
The action scenes are phenomenal. Like, I was very impressed. It was very
nice
with that. So
all right,
yeah, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and hey, Sebastian Stan. We're hearing some interesting rumors about him.
For the longest time, for years now, Sebastian Stan, he's been compared and to like his similarities have been pointed out, saying that he looks very similar to a very young Luke Skywalker, to a young Mark Hamill, and because of what we've seen with The Mandalorian, with the movie Solo, and now coming up with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, people are saying, you know what, this may be the perfect time to actually fulfill the fan love and the fan craze for wanting to have Sebastian Stan portray Luke Skywalker in a series, possibly after the fall of the Empire. And, it's been talked about for years on the internet. And as far as I know, this is the first time that Sebastian Stan has addressed it. He's doing the promotional work for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So on Good Morning America, he was asked about the dream casting for that role. Would he take it? And, what the rumor has been. And he responded to the rumors by saying that he's heard the rumors too, but he won't believe that it would be a done deal unless he heard it directly from Mark Hamill himself, saying that I don't mind sharing the role of Luke to you. And so he's saying that it sounds like he's up for it. And, just kind of like what we heard, with the calls for having like Obi-Wan Kenobi or Ewan McGregor reprising his role as Obi-Wan, who knows? Now that Mark Hamill in the past has tweeted that Sebastian has and does look like him as a younger self, and Mark Hamill has actually even tweeted a picture of them both side by side saying, "Sorry to disappoint you, but I refuse to say, Sebastian Stan, I am your father, even though in fact I am." And so I think Mark Hamill, I think all he needs to do is call Sebastian Stan, and Sebastian will be, in it. And so I'm really, this opens the door. Now he's more vocal about accepting the role if offered to him by Mark Hamill. I think we're a little closer to seeing post-Empire Luke and his Jedi Academy series, which will bring back Ben Solo. That's great for you.
Right for me.
Yeah.
Well, where did we leave off at the end of The Mandalorian? I know a lot of people were thinking at the end of The Mandalorian when we got that Luke, that computer-generated Luke, they were hoping that it was going to be Sebastian Stan.
Yes, I was hoping that.
Standing in. I'd say I was in that camp also. But you make a very good point, because if we bring Sebastian Stan in to kind of have that Luke Skywalker series take up that part of after the end of The Mandalorian, where he has baby Grogu and he's going back to his Jedi Academy where, surprise, surprise, he's got little baby, he's got, itty bitty Ben Solo who is 4 or 5 years old. I'd be with it. I'd be totally 100,000% there. I'm already there, James.
And I wish directors or movie makers or TV makers, they go into the opposite trend of trying to digitally recreate an actor that has either passed away or has gotten too old to reprise that role, and just recast them. And I wasn't a big fan when they did that with Solo. I wasn't really upset that they made a Solo movie. I mean, let me reword this. I wasn't upset with the actor that they cast to play Han Solo. I was more upset that they decided to make a Han Solo movie just because it felt very much like a money grab. It came right after The Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi, but there was a really a short time frame in between the movie and Solo when it came out. So I had mixed feelings about it, and the movie isn't bad. It's definitely much better than I think it should be. So kudos to the actor who played a young Han Solo. But I do like them, instead of again using a digitized Mark Hamill in the end of The Mandalorian, bring Sebastian Stan or bring somebody else and just recast him, because I think having the digital face and the talk all around that takes you out of the episode or takes you out of the movie. And so, I think, he's a number one pick. But if they do go with the Luke Skywalker series, can't recast it, don't do the whole digital thing. We're really good at that, but we're not there yet to make it absolutely believable. So
Yeah.
that's where I stand.
I mean, I kind of feel like I wish they had done that with Leia. I know
Yeah.
they didn't really want to tarnish her memory, and they didn't want anyone else to play her. But I feel like they, get a body double, get another actress who can come in and say the lines, and then, put Leia's face on it. I don't know if that's like macabre or, that's like kind of morbid or not, but I just feel like don't sacrifice the story. Don't
Right.
sacrifice the story. They want the story to be complete, and it lives beyond them. So let it continue. But yes, I think Sebastian Stan would make a great Luke Skywalker. He also makes a great Bucky Barnes. So I'm on the Sebastian Stan train.
Yeah, are you a Sebastian Stan? If you are, please comment down below. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram at Hub on Hollywood. Join the conversation. Yeah, who would be your pick? Maybe not Sebastian Stan, but do you even think there should be a Luke Skywalker series? Let us know. Comment down below. But let's move on to the second review, because this is a movie that I just finished watching, let's say maybe 2 hours ago, so it's still very fresh. But this movie, The Father, starring Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman, just like the movie I reviewed last week, Minari, this one is also a big heavy hitter when it comes to the Oscars and award season, taking looks like 6 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actor, which is in which Anthony Hopkins has been nominated for, Best Supporting Actress Olivia Colman, who plays his daughter, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Production Design, Best Film Editing, which I think they did a very great job in the editing, and it really did help push the story along. But this is basically about a man, Anthony Hopkins, who's getting older, and he's starting to lose it mentally, though he's refusing any assistance from his daughter as he's getting older. And as he tries making sense of his changing circumstances, he begins to doubt his loved ones, he begins to doubt his own mind, and he begins to doubt his own reality. And this movie, unlike other movies where we see somebody who may be falling into dementia, we see it from the outside perspective. This movie really does a great job in putting you in the perspective of Anthony Hopkins, and how it's edited and how it's written. It gives you a better understanding of what somebody who's experiencing dementia or going into it, what they're experiencing, and how scary it can be and how confusing it can be.
Would you say it's a little bit like A Beautiful Mind?
Yes, but much more sad. Now, like I said before, bring your tissues, because this one it tugged at my heartstrings. But the acting, Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman, they are both amazing, as well as the rest of the cast. But the entire movie does sit on the shoulders of Hopkins, because without his talent, his skill, without him being able to make you believe that this is a man, you're watching a man spiral into dementia. Without his portrayal of that, this movie could have fallen apart, but he carries it throughout the whole thing. This movie is sobering, impactful, gut-wrenching, some of the words that popped into my head. As I mentioned, the way that this movie uses the film edits to his advantage, it also uses its entire cast. And the way, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but how they use their cast and their characters really adds to the feeling of anxiety and feeling lost and feeling scared and betrayed and confused. And this, I can't speak more highly of it. Again, this isn't a movie that, unlike Minari, where you're kind of left with the feeling of hope and wondering and hoping to see what the future has in store. This is the opposite, where you're seeing where a life is coming to an end. And how tragic it can be. But again, I think this movie does a great job in not only seeing the loved ones and how they react to having a family member go through this, but actually being able to put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's losing their mind. Again, with the editing and the way, it's kind of trippy. The movie's kind of trippy. But with that, it gives the viewer a better understanding, and maybe even more, can possibly grow more compassion for people, who are going into dementia, and maybe it helps people have more patience, more empathy for somebody who, it may be frustrating to live with somebody and try to help somebody who can't remember who you are. And so this movie hit a lot of I don't know, emotional beats, and I thought beautifully. So go see The Father, but enter at your own risk because it is a gut-wrenching movie, but a beautiful one nonetheless.
So at the end, does he say, "I love you, my sons," and then disappear into the sunset?
No, Thor and Loki don't make an appearance in this film. No, but yeah, all I can say is Anthony Hopkins nominated for Best Actor, Olivia Colman Best Supporting Actress. They deserve the nominations. I haven't seen all the Oscar noms for everyone else, all the other movies, but they deserve, from what I've seen, to be nominated. Great acting. Anthony Hopkins still has it. He can still carry a movie. Put him in more stuff. He deserves to do it because he's a great guy, but great acting. So The Father, go check it out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that, James. We are the Hub on Hollywood. If you want more great reviews like this, if you want to know what's going on in the MCU, if you want to know about the future of Star Wars and anything else that you love and care about, come to us. Come to the Hub on Hollywood. Find us. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Search Hub on Hollywood. You can also listen to us on all the streaming services, right, James?
That's right. iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. And so, so if you can't sit down and watch us, and you need to go out, drive around, go for a run, you can always listen to us. So yeah, thank you. Subscribe, follow, tell your mother, tell your friends.
Tell your mother, tell your sister, tell your brother.
Yeah. Well, one thing.
We're beautiful.
Yeah. One thing you will definitely want to tell your loved ones if they have the acting bug is the following casting calls that we have for you folks, and we could just jump right into it with the first one. Slate Casting, they are looking for actresses with authentic Australian, British, or New Zealand accents. They're looking for women 25 to 55 years old. This is for a role, a spokesperson role for a series of videos. You must have acting experience. This does pay $1,000 a day if you are a cast. So if you are interested, send your headshot, your acting resume, name, contact, city information, where you live. This shoots in the Boston area. No exact date yet, but send all your information to slateselftape@gmail.com, slateselftape@gmail.com.
Okay. Also from Slate, they're putting together an influencer database, James. This might be one for us because we're so influential.
So influential.
But if you have a vlog or a blog or whatever kind of thing like that, and you are an influencer, you've got followers and people who listen to you, and I don't know, maybe you do fashion, maybe you do something else, I don't know. Slate Casting is looking to put you in their database. They have a talent form on their website. They're also looking for a headshot, a current photo, contact information, and your Instagram handle. Send that to submit@slatecasting.com with the subject line influencer, and they will put you in their database. And hopefully that will lead to more projects for you.
All right. Excuse me. Boston Casting. They're looking. This is actually a really cool one. Even though all the castings are cool, this one's especially cool. Boston Casting. They're looking for. They're casting for a improv comedic talent. This is for a commercial, a web video. This pays $1,400 a day, non-union gig. Shoots 2 days of the week. On April 5th. Beginning April 5th. They're looking for men 25 to 45 years old, as well as the ladies 25, 45 years old with extensive improv comedy experience. I'm not sure if you know this, but I used to do improv in high school back in the day. Comedy Sports, shout out. I used to do improv, so a lot of fun. I've been to one local improv show here in Boston since I moved here, and I've been dying to go back, so, we're nearing the end of the pandemic. Vaccines are coming out. Can't wait to go back to watch this improv. But if you are an improviser, you know anyone who is, if they have any comedic chops, have them send their resume, headshot, contact information to bostoncastingimprov@gmail.com. Send that ASAP.
Okay. We've also got a casting notice here for Grant Wilfley. Casting is looking for background actors for the HBO series The Gilded Age. This is set in the 1880s, so you get to wear the big dresses and the corsets and the wooden shoes and all that jazz.
Oh, fun.
It's going to be filming in Newport, Rhode Island in May. They're looking for a wide variety of folks. They're looking for upperclassmen and footmen and maids and chefs and, people who are able to portray a wide range of folks here. Must have natural colored hair, none of this, which I've done to myself. They are looking for you to send your name. This is for SAG folks, so this is for SAG-AFTRA union members. Send your name, your AFTRA ID, phone number, height, weight, sizes, current photos to gildedage@gwcnyc.com with the subject line SAG posting Newport shoot avail in May.
All right.
It's a very long subject line. But anyways, they're looking for people. The Gilded Age HBO series shooting in Rhode Island starting in May. That's going to be fun.
All right, my last casting call. This is for a TV series. They're looking for characters to represent the Seneca Nation. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But they are looking for men and women who are indigenous to apply to support the authenticity of this sequence of what they say. This is open to SAG and non-union members, 18 plus, paid opportunity. This is shooting currently from now through July of this year in Western Massachusetts. So if you are indigenous, if you are able to represent, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, the Seneca Nation, you can send your name, your photo, contact information, where you're located. Send all that to Boston Casting Boston Casting Submit 5 at gmail.com. Boston Casting Submit 5 at gmail.com.
Yeah, and the last one from me, James, Showtime series Dexter is filming in Massachusetts. They're filming around central and western Massachusetts under the not-so-secret pseudonym of Marble. They're calling the production Marble. There are so many castings for this right now that I could not even list them all. They're filming in April and May. You're going to want to sign up with Boston Casting. Submit to get with Boston Casting website in order to get those casting emails and see what you're available for and what they're looking for. So many. So Dexter is the Showtime series about a Miami blood spatter expert who is also a serial killer. I suppose it's pretty popular. They're bringing it back for a limited series.
Yeah.
And they're filming right now, and they're filming a lot, James. So
it was quite the killer show. That's terrible. No, but yeah, I feel like people are welcoming of this, of the, not the reboot, but I guess the continuation, just because I was an avid Dexter watcher as well, but I think I dropped off after season 4 when it was still good, from what I'm told, because everybody, the word on the internet, spreads far and fast, and it's been consistent, and the same consistent thought was that the series ended on a terrible note. And so I guess people are welcoming, like, okay, hopefully they can fix it. So, this is, I don't know how many X years later, but hopefully they can fix it so to give Dexter, the series, a better ending. But I believe season 3, and I say this every time when I talk about Dexter, I believe it was season 3 with John Lithgow, the Trinity Killer. Some of the best TV I've ever seen. John Lithgow, terrifying. And again, I grew up with this guy being watching him from Third Rock from the Sun, Harry and the Hendersons, all these other things that are great. And then just watching him be this ruthless serial killer. John Lithgow, you go, man. He needs to be in more stuff too. We need a John Lithgow renaissance.
Yeah. For sure, I'm with that.
All right. Well, speaking of things that are coming back, such as Dexter, this other show just hopped onto or just slid onto Disney Plus, The Mighty Ducks, Game Changers.
Oh.
So everyone knows the Mighty Ducks, the movies that led to the actual quack, 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 quack. that's back. And you know, as you may have seen the movies all those years ago, Emilio Estevez plays this guy who's forced to do community service of some sort and has to, you know, he hates kids, but he's got to do it by law or else he goes to jail. And if I'm remembering this correctly, I've been seeing this in like 20 plus years, if I remember this correctly, but he has to become a hockey coach for a youth hockey team. And I guess we're picking right back up 30 years later. I watched the first episode. This is coming out weekly. Emilio Estevez, he's back as Gordon Bombay in the new series. The story plot line basically follows after failing to make the cut to join the now powerhouse Mighty Ducks junior hockey team, a mom encourages her 12-year-old son to form a new team with the help of Gordon Bombay. And right now we find Emilio Estevez. He's the owner of this ice rink, but there's a no hockey rule. But that rule quickly goes out. So there's no hockey rule. It hasn't been explained, but you'll learn that there's been some kind of falling out of hockey, him and the team. So we find him at this dumpy ice rink. But the mom pays up, and hey, kids can now play hockey here. So that's where we're at. I'm not sure this is really directed towards me. When I was watching this, one pro is that the child actors are good. However, the writing, for me, there are many things that can take me out of a TV show or a film. For me, one of those is when kids talk like adults, if that makes sense. Kind of like the Juno. Yeah, kind of like Juno when that movie came out with. I'm blanking on his name, but when teens or young kids talk like adults, that pulls me out immediately. And this has a lot of that. I feel like the new series, The Mighty Ducks, is trying to follow in line of what Cobra Kai has done, but I don't think it's gone off to a good enough start. I think this is like Cobra Kai light. Unlike Cobra Kai, where it gives you different perspectives and gives you background and really builds these characters. And again, I know this is the only first episode, but I feel like Cobra Kai episode 1, I was hooked. Yeah. This one, I'm not sure if this is my demographic or it's aimed towards me, maybe towards the younger kids. But The Mighty Ducks Game Changers is on Disney Plus. Go ahead and check it out if you love the old movies. But yeah, that's my quick review.
Systems I had for The Fault in Our Stars. So The Fault of Our Stars, the kids talk like grown-ups. You know what I mean? Like that takes me out of it too. So it's really important. Writing for the characters is really important. But I get you 100% because that does it for me also. Like it's like no, he's 12.
Yeah.
He definitely wouldn't be saying that.
And I think some of the characters in this show have been Disney-fied, and when I say that, I mean there are clear-cut good people and bad people, good and evil people, and there are some characters that are like the jerks, but they're jerks just to be jerks. And there's no more to that. They're just jerks to be jerks, and it's kind of like those villains that are just evil.
They're kind of two-dimensional.
Exactly. Like what makes Thanos a great villain is that you understand his perspective. You understand why he's he's a madman, but he thinks he's the hero in his own story. From what we've been from, again, only the first episode, so I am quick to judge. So say what you will. But from what I've seen, these characters, the antagonists, seem to be just not that well developed and are just bad just to be bad.
All right. Well, that's awesome. I will put that on the list to watch. Anything else that we should be on the lookout to watch, James?
Let's see. Well, I just watched Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. I just watched that yesterday for the first time. Not sure if you saw that. But it was pretty good. A lot. Again, from what if you have seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. But one of the things I've heard about this movie when it came out was if this character, the main character, was played by anybody other than Adam Sandler, you would hate this movie. You would hate this guy. There'd be no reason to root or kind of hope that this guy gets out of trouble. And because this character is unredeemable, but because it's Adam Sandler, you're kind of hoping like, come on, man, just stop making mistakes. Come on, you already dug deep into this. So you stop digging. And so it's a good movie. It's entertaining. It kept me watching it and my attention focused on it. But that character's weird, but really good acting from Adam Sandler and everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what I'm watching. Anything you've seen?
No, but there's this new Tiffany Haddish movie called Bad Trip.
Oh yeah, I've heard talks about it.
Yeah, I thought that looked really funny. So when I wanted to check that out. Also, And whenever I have 4 hours,
Yeah.
watch the Snyder cut of the Justice League.
We'll try watching it soon.
We'll figure it out. And
Yeah,
those
well-
were things I wanted to mention.
Yeah. I did want to, end this episode. And this, this isn't really a low note, but I think it's a high note, just recognizing her talent and her skill. But this past week, Jessica Walter passed away, and she's most well known for her roles as Lucille Bluth on Arrested Development, and she voiced the character Mallory on the animated series, a great series, Archer. And so she passed away. She had a long, expansive career that went through the decades. She starred in not only in film but also TV productions, over 160 of them throughout her career. She passed away in her sleep. No word on the official cause of death from her family. But she has. I first learned of her while watching Arrested Development. That came out in 2003, so I was 13 at the time. And at the time, one of the funniest shows I have ever seen at that point. And after 3 seasons, it was canceled, but eventually it was brought back on Netflix. And she, of course, came back, reprising her role as Lucille Bluth, who not only has that role, but her Mallory role in Archer has had a second resurgence, I think, among younger generations when it comes to social media and GIFs. Because, she plays the wealthy woman who's blissfully out of touch with reality and society. And so it's really funny, seeing these memes of this very high privileged person who doesn't know how much a banana costs. Like what does a banana cost? $10? Like, who's just so out of touch with reality. But again, with our current times, has been, shared repeatedly on social media in GIF form, in meme form, so continues to live on. But yeah, Jessica Walter, quite the talent, a very amazing actress and performer. And so, thank you very much for your performance. You did great work, and you will continue to live on in the great shows in perpetuity.
And now I gotta go watch Arrested Development. So.
Yes, it's such a great show. Oh my god! But what are you going to be watching? Let us know what you will watch, what we should be watching, and recommend. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Hub on Hollywood. You can also watch us on YouTube if you're listening to us. Subscribe, hit like, and vice versa. You can listen to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services. But for this week on the Hub on Hollywood, I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
All right.
Time.
Bye.